So let's go to Tel Aviv now, and Israeli government spokesperson Eylon Levy. Mr. Levy, thank you very much. It's good to have you with us today. You know, I wonder what goes through your mind as you listen to this back and forth in America.
You know, I remember on the morning of October 7th beginning to hear reports about the sexual violence perpetrated by Hamas death squads, and initially not wanting to believe it, but the initial reports became a deluge of evidence about women who were brutally raped, mutilated afterwards. And now we're seeing with this important event at the United Nations, with that critical support from Sheryl Sandberg and Secretary Clinton as well, making it absolutely clear that this is beyond reprehensible. And this is really a shocking reminder of why Israel now has no choice but to go to the end and topple the Hamas rapist regime, because there can be no impunity for people who use sexual violence against innocent women and girls. And we expect everyone, people who maybe till now have not completely condemned Hamas's atrocities or tried to find excuses or have been trying to tie Israel's hands and stop it from defending itself, to understand exactly what we are fighting against and understand that we are fighting for humanity in the most basic sense of the right of women and girls to be in their homes, to be at music festivals and not be raped by mass terrorists.
You know, I want to put up a photo of Mia Shem when she was reunited with her mother and her brother, because we remember the face of this young woman having a great time at this music festival. Look at her eyes. I would encourage everybody to look at her face. This is one of the young women who was in Hamas's custody for over 50 days. They made her do a video at one point, one of the only videos, I think we saw 2 videos that came out of these hostages. But I would just ask you to look at her eyes and think about the experiences that these young women have been through and how many years, and I don't know specifically what happened to me, we hope this did not happen to her, how many years it's going to take to get back to normal. But then you hear Congresswoman Jayapal, and she says, yes, but Israel. And thousands of people as Palestinians who have been killed. And I wonder what would you want to say to her in answer to that, sir?
There is no yes, but after rape. Rape is not legitimate in any circumstances whatsoever, period. Rape is not resistance. It is an act of barbaric savagery against innocent people, women who were raped, tortured to death, mutilated afterwards, and there can be no excuses for that. And it's not enough to say we completely condemn Hamas's atrocities against Israeli women. By the way, at no pro-Palestinian protest anywhere in the world has anyone ever uttered a word of condemnation against the Hamas rapist regime. But it's important to stand side by side with Israel as we bring those rapists to justice. Because anyone who is trying to call for a permanent ceasefire that leaves our hostages in Gaza and Hamas in power is saying that the rapists who perpetrated those atrocities on October 7th should get away with it, should not face justice, and should be free to reoffend, as Hamas is telling us it wants to do October 7th all over again. And we're not going to do that. We're going to stand up, this whole country, for the women and girls of this country, and we will bring the Hamas rapist regime to justice.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Before I let you go, a quick answer if you can. You know, when you listen to this back and forth, are you worried that the United States is waning in its support? And when you hear these kind of comments from the White House as well?
The U.S. administration and the American people have been unwavering in their support for Israel from day one. They're understanding that we have a duty to defend ourselves against these barbaric atrocities. And that self-defense means bringing down the terror regime responsible for the October 7th massacre. President Biden has been very clear on that, leaders from both parties, and we're confident that that will remain because the American people understand what happened on October 7th, those barbaric atrocities. They understand that cannot go unanswered, and that has to be responded to with the downfall of the Hamas terror regime.
Eylon Levy, thank you very much, Israeli government spokesperson. Good to have you with us, sir. Thank you.